This is Kelso Sturgeon. Thank you very much for visiting another session of Football Handicapping 101. I'm coming off a decent week in football. Unfortunately, I have to tell the truth, I lost my college football game of the year as North Carolina State lost in overtime to East Carolina. But I did get the cash with my Best Bets Club over the weekend, 5-0-1. My Chairman's Club is now 6-0-1 in its last 7 25-unit plays, and the winning continues this weekend. It is a big week, highlighted by my 200-unit NFL Game of the Year on Sunday, and before that on Saturday, my 50-unit Atlantic Coast Conference Game of the Year. Both of those games will be available on this site or toll-free at 1-800-755-2255, and I do take all major credit cards. Now, I'm often asked, what do I do or how I handicap? What is the process I go through? So I thought I'd just briefly run these things down point by point because I may do things a little bit differently than other people, and I hope that the insight would help you a little bit. The first thing that I understand when I sit down to handicap football for a coming week is that there's quite a bit of difference between handicapping college football games and handicapping National Football League games. And I never forget that there is a difference between the two. The main difference is in the NFL, the worst team can beat the best team on any given Sunday. In college, that's not really true. You'll never see the day that New Mexico State beats Ohio State, for instance. So that factors down to a situation you must just simply, when you're handicapping the colleges, be in a college mode. When you're handicapping the NFL, be in an NFL mode. And the one thing that I do, I use 42 different elements to handicap the NFL, 47 or 5 more to handicap the colleges, and the additional 5 are because there are situations where one team simply cannot beat another, and that requires a little extra work. Now, the one thing that I do before anything else is I go down my schedule, and on every single game I circle the name of the team that I believe will win the game straight up. And you'd be surprised at how many underdogs you will circle as you're going through the card. There's like 65 college and NFL games this weekend. 51 in the colleges, I believe, and 14 in the NFL. And going through the process, I circled 11 teams, college and pro, where I thought the underdog would be the winner. That doesn't mean that I'm right in that original run through there, but I'll give all these teams a second look, and I have released and won with a lot of underdogs lately. So the first step in the whole process is to circle the team that you believe will win the game. Now, after I've done this, I do something a little bit strange. I now zero in on teams that I think will win and cover, and then I go about trying to talk myself out of using any of them. That list will usually have about 15 teams on it that I like because of the betting line and their ability, and I really try to talk myself out of using any of them. I'm looking for teams among that 14 or 15 that I don't want to bet, and I find reasons not to use them in further analysis. And I put them through the process, and then I grade them as to their ability to cover the number. I have my own formula to do it. It's very complicated. I can't share it with you here. Maybe one day in my column on this website I'll be able to do that. But that really is where I go. I go right through the process. I try to talk myself out of betting on the games that I like. If I can't do that, then I'll handicap all of them. But one thing I do, period, is I handicap every single game on the card. I don't want anything to slip by, and maybe there's some way out team there that I never even thought about that gets a high grade and has a high percentage of chances to cover the number. And that simply is the process. It's tedious. It requires a tremendous amount of work, especially handicapping every game, but that's how I do it, right down the line, every single week. Now, don't forget, on Saturday, my ACC Game of the Year. On Sunday, my 200-unit NFL Game of the Year. Both available on this site and toll-free at 1-800-755-2255.